If you frequent the Alamo Drafthouse, then you guys are going to love what founder and CEO Tim League has planned for us this summer with the Texas Monthly Rolling Road Show. So you and Texas Monthly come together and create this Texas-themed Rolling Road Show this year. Tell us about the process.
It came together really well, actually. The first step was there was a panel, and it happened during South by Southwest. There was 4 film experts and me who were on the panel. I'm not going to call myself, I'm just a sideline player, a bench player. But we debated for about 3 hours of all the movies that are about Texas. What are the 10 most quintessential movies? And we eventually, after a long debate, came to this list of 10 films, and then we came through and decided to do a tour of all of those movies on location, like where they were shot or where they were set all over the state.
With the locations, how did you come up with what famous spots you guys are going to hit in all corners of Texas?
It varied from film to film. Some films, like we have a couple John Wayne westerns, Red River and The Searchers. Those were actually filmed in Monument Valley, and so that's nowhere near Texas, but it was supposed to be Texas. So we went back to the original story. What were those movies about? Red River was about the founding of the Chisholm Trail, so we decided to do it at the Fort Worth Stockyards, which was the centerpiece of the Chisholm Trail. And The Searchers was about an actual abduction from Fort Parker, which is about 30 minutes east of Waco, so we're doing it inside historic Fort Parker. For the ones this weekend, well, actually next weekend rather, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I actually had to lobby for very hard to be on the list of the 10 most important.
The panel wasn't for Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
No, there was 2 of us, but 2 of us said we're not going to leave the table until Texas Chainsaw Massacre is on this list. So we're doing it at the actual house where it was shot.
Yeah, the Junction House.
The Junction House, which is now, oddly enough, a restaurant.
And there's special guests. You guys got Ed Neal and Marilyn Burns showing up.
Yeah, the original Scream Queen, Marilyn Burns, is going to be there, and she's actually going to be judging a audience scream contest, and we have all sorts of fun things planned. So you can actually go and eat dinner at the Junction House with the cast from the film, and then go outside and have reserved seats at the screening. So that's a paid option. Tickets are available, but you could also go for free and just enjoy the film.
How did you guys narrow down to 10 movies? I mean, did you have the categories already, or did you guys just put all your brain power together?
Of the 5 people, there were disparate lists. We had lots of different titles, so everybody had to watch all of the movies that everybody else had picked.
Do you have to watch them together?
No, it was our homework before we came to the table. And then we actually decided, what does it mean to be Texan? What does it mean to be an iconic Texas film? And one that actually fell off the list that everybody loved was Dazed and Confused, which we think is a really important movie, but it feels more like a universal story. I saw it when I was growing up in Ohio, and it related to me. It wasn't quintessentially Texan. There's highlights of the debate in this issue of Texas Monthly that's on stands now, and then you can go onto their website and you can actually, probably much to my horror, you can go listen to the entire 3-hour debate if you want to, but I don't recommend anybody do that.
There's Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Blood Simple, what else? Tender Mercies. What else is on there?
So it starts the first weekend, which is June 3rd weekend. There's 3 of them, all within shooting distance of Austin. So Blood Simple, we're doing at Dessau Hall, which is the actual location for Marty's bar in the movie. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, we're doing at the original house. And then it's also The Searchers at Fort Parker. That's all the first weekend. Now I'll probably get the dates screwed up for the rest of them, but we're going to Pilot Point for Bonnie and Clyde. And Pilot Point, we're doing it right next to one of the banks that Bonnie and Clyde rob in the movie. And we're actually doing a little VIP reception inside the bank.
Nice.
We're going to, and I might not pronounce this quite right, Waxahachie for Tender Mercies. And we're going to the Fort Worth Stockyards for Red River. We're going out to Marfa for 2 films, No Country for Old Men and Giant. 2 very different movies, but both make use of the desolate Marfa landscape. And we're going to Archer City for The Last Picture Show. One last movie is HUD, and that's in Claude, Texas. And so the entire film was shot in Claude, Texas, and we're doing it, I think, in the town square where HUD likes to troll through and make trouble.
What's your favorite movie on the list? Do you have one?
Boy, I mean, I don't know if it's my favorite movie on the list, but I actually had never seen Tender Mercies. And so it was one of my homework assignments, and I just fell in love with the movie. I thought it was beautiful, and it was a dark horse candidate. It was only on one person's list, and I think several people saw it for the first time. Then we debated it, and we felt it was important to be on the list.
So add that to my queue on Netflix.
Yeah, it's either that or Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
If you are interested in checking out Texas Chainsaw Massacre June 4th at the Junction House, we are giving away $100 VIP tickets on the CWAustin.com. And if you'd like to check out what other films are all around Texas, check out drafthouse.com/TexasFilms.